Hi everyone, Phil from Hybrid Me doing what I think will be my final Garmin R10 video. Why is it my final one? A number of reasons. When I bought the R10, it was out of curiosity. It was curious as for what are you going to get for £529, can't remember if it was 99 pence, and how will it perform compared to something like an £8,000 combination of GC2 and HMT, which is what I spent on getting those used. It's even more new many years back. And I'm a very happy GC2 and HMT user, and having taken it to the range a few weeks back for the first time along with the R10, I do trust the GC2 on nearly all shots. There are some that it gets misreads, just like any system will. But lots of the comments, thank you for all the comments on YouTube and the comments on Facebook. There's various things out there, and I'm going to kind of summarise what my thoughts are and what people have been saying, and then I'll just carry out some further testing. Some of the comments have been talking about why are you comparing a £530 system to in my case, £8,000 that I spent. Other people are doing it with TrackMan's, even more expensive. And that you shouldn't really be comparing them because it's comparing apples with oranges. I disagree. I think you do need to be comparing something that comes out there with a lot of claims at a lower price point with the more expensive tried and tested solutions, because you want to know how it performs. You want to see how capable it is. And then say, well, you really should be testing it against maybe a Mevo Plus. And again, I'd argue, no, in an indoor environment, I think you can trust the GC2 and a camera system better than you can a radar system where there's limited ball flight and where it's not tracking the full flight. So I do think you want to have a control unit that's as good as can be or is generally accepted as a gold standard. And then you want to compare the system against it. Now, where I agree with all the comments online have been is expectations. You shouldn't expect a product at £530 brand new to the market to perform like a tried and tested gold standard £8,000 system. So that's the kind of context around it. Now, when I did my early testing, you can go back and look at videos, my thoughts are that a lot of the numbers are very, very good and it's impressive for the price. I tried to get my early videos out there because no one else had any out there. So I thought, great, I'll put some videos out, I'll just start using it, people will be interested, and thankfully I think they have been. Now there's lots of other people that have gone out there and are testing it, and I just feel that me holding on to the R10 while I'm about to move house, I'm going to rip down the sim later today. It's a complete waste of me holding on to a unit that I don't intend to be keeping. I don't intend to be using long term. I'm happy with GC2 HMT, so I will be selling it. I'm not going to be selling it above list price. I think I'm going to put it on at £450, a fixed price, and someone can just buy it. So just to make it clear, that's the reason I'm moving it on. I know people are waiting for their orders, and if it means one other person can get the unit, that'll be great. So I'll put that on later today. Feel free to email me at my hybridme.co.uk address if you go on the website. If you're interested, and if you're UK based, just because I don't want the hassle of having to kind of send it through Europe and customs and various things, then I'll just pick one of your names out of the hat and get in touch, and we can arrange the sale. It's not going to be sold by Hybrid Me, it's going to be sold by me personally because I bought it personally rather than through the business. Don't ask me why, I think I was just lazy at the time when I was online and I saw it on one of the golf forums. Anyhow, without further ado, other comments have come in talking about, can the software updates to be issued fix some of the spin axis things I'm seeing? My gut feel is no. My honest opinion, and quite a few other people have commented online, is that the system could probably be reliable for people that hit the ball out of centre strike more often than not. And I certainly found that possibly when I set up for a fade swing, the numbers correlated and the spin axis correlated a little bit better than when I do my normal low and sweepy swing, and that the radar systems where it's calculating spin will struggle with gear effect from things like toe strikes, and that's where a camera system, albeit a lot more expensive, can actually look at that data and capture that data and show that spin axis more reliably. So there's certainly, I agree with that, and I think me as a tester are probably one of the kind of more extremes. I do have a pretty dodgy swing. It is very into out and low and sweepy, and it may just be that I'm hitting shots off the heel, off the toe, plenty off the hoddle lately. And on that basis, a camera system like the GC2 will be more reliable for picking that up. Other comments, sorry about all of this. Other comments are coming saying it could be an alignment issue, that I don't think you've aligned it well. I don't agree with that at all. I've put effort into aligning the two systems and with the target line so that the launch direction is very, very similar, which is showing they must be aligned for the launch direction to be picked up on both very similarly. Then when it comes up with other data that's wrong, nearly all the numbers are right, but the spin axis is wrong, I don't believe it's an alignment issue. Could it be an up-down thing? I've now got it on the floor, as you'll see on the camera, rather than sitting on the mat at the same height. There's a little bit of ambiguity in the manual where it states if you're using a mat, it kind of says make sure the unit is above the ball. The unit sitting on the tripod therefore, should that be on the floor or should that be on a mat? If it was used outdoors, it would be sitting on the same level as the hitting mat, like the ground. Yet in a mat environment, is there a reason it should be raised up down? There's been no real, to the best of my knowledge, there's been no clarification on that from Garmin. So I've done both. I've got it currently sitting on the floor because I think if I'm going to read the manual to the letter, to the word of it, that's kind of what it's hinting I should do. Oh, what else? Summarising wise, no, let's get on and just go through the bag again. Other comments were you're not selecting the club. Again, I've had no clarity on this. I don't think it's necessary. When you do the Home Hero, it doesn't ask you to, but I will select the club through this testing so that people can see. So again, I haven't been playing for a week. I've been away on holiday, so I will be testing the full range of shots. I'm not selecting a club on the GC2, which is the left-hand side of the data, because it doesn't need me to. And I'm not going to waste time. So we will grab a 7-iron. Oh wow, I've got the clubs set up in the wrong order. That does not help. There it's the 7. I will show you it's 7. I've got the R10 7 feet behind the ball. There is a 7-iron. 7-iron selected there. And I will hit a few shots. That is going to be a nice hooky one. If you look at the ball flight, so people are saying also they want to see the ball flight. I mean, you can just tell from the numbers what it will be like. So if we look at that ball flight on the GC2, that was a big pull hook, 1286 of left spin on the GC2, and it's showing as 99 left on the Mevo Plus, on the R10, apologies. So really, that's pretty straight. Very little flight. If I go back, will it actually show me it on the... There we go. So you can see big difference between where those would have ended up. Launch angle. I'm just going to pick on a few of the numbers that we've focused on in the past. Launch angle 17.1 on the R10, 18 on the GC2. So very, very similar. Let me hit another shot. Okay, so that was a better swing. You'll see it's just shown as a little bit of a push, tiny draw, I think, on the GC2. Yeah, 2.6 right and 132 left spin. It's showing 2 right on the R10 and it's showing 168 of fade. So again, if I drag back just so you can see the ball flight, you'll see one was a push fade, one was a little push draw. Not that far apart because the numbers weren't big on the side spin. But as far as other things, let's just go through this one. Carry distance within a yard, that's a calculated, not measured, but still good to see. I've said I find this could be very good for bag mapping and for the money. If I didn't have anything else, I certainly would be considering and probably buying an R10. That's my honest opinion, despite the flaws and what I believe are the limitations. I won't focus on club speed, not fast on that. Ball speed 117, 118.6, close. Launch angle 17.5 on the R10, 19.7, so it is that kind of 2 degrees less. We've already covered direction. Backspin 4707 versus 5048 on the GC2, really close. So all in all, yeah, very, very good. I'll hit another couple. Nice. haven't shanked any yet. I mean, this isn't a good swing. So I've hit a little bit of a push fade there again. So the GC2 is showing launch angle 20, 3.6 right and 73 of draw. So it's not a push fade, it's actually got a tiny bit of draw on it. And we'll compare that to launch angle 20 on GC2, launch angle 17.5, so 2.5 less. Launch direction 3.6 right on the GC2. Just checking I've got that right. Yep. 2.9 right on the R10. Again, there may be minor alignments. I'm not saying it's perfect, but I'm just saying I don't believe alignment is the reason for the differences in spin axis and things like that. Backspin 5999, so almost 6,000 on the GC2, 4.7, so about 1,300 difference. And it's showing as a little bit of a draw on the GC2, and it's showing 500 of fade. So again, you can see on the grid at the bottom where it's got the lines on the show golf site, you can see the biggest circle is the last shot that it kind of just went out there right and pretty much didn't have much spin. If I show the ball flight on the R10, you'll see it had a fair amount of fade. So again, there will be, there'll be a difference in where they end up, but that's how it is. Last shot with the 7-iron. There we go. That's a good strike for me. It's going to end up left of centre. There we go. Started a bit right, slightly overdrew it. And we'll go through all the numbers again. Carry within 4 yards of one another. Calculated number. Ball speed 118.2, 117, 1 mile per hour difference. Launch angle 17.6 on the GC2, 15.7, so almost that 2 degrees difference again. Launch direction 1.8 right on the GC2, 1.4 right R10, similar. Backspin 5358 versus 3825. I mean, I do generally have quite low backspin anyhow, but there's a 1,500 difference, and that's a 3825 is very low that the R10 is reporting or calculating. Side spin 800 of draw on the GC2. You'll see it ended up well left, and that's how it felt to me when I hit it before I even looked at the data. And if we look at the ball flight with the R10, it's gone off to the right. So let me select a different club. Let's go down to a pitching wedge. I will select pitching wedge so I don't get beaten up by people saying, you need to select the club. Okie doke, let's get back here again. Why not? Let me select it on here as well, so people, even if they don't understand what that is, they'll at least see it saying pitching wedge. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but it's on YouTube, so a lot of guys will just duck in, watch a minute. They certainly won't listen to that full ramble at the start. That's lots of people doing testing now, and I'm certainly seeing it's not only me that does see the discrepancy in spin axis, which is expected with a radar system guessing spin, and particularly off-centre strikes. Let's go for it. Let's go pitching wedge. Okay, again, slightly overdrawn that left of centre. I think, assuming it read, did it read? No, it looks like the GC2. Oh yeah, it's at the top there. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing. Yeah. So it's ended up just left of centre. You'll see that on the biggest white dot on the bottom. If I show the, there we go, slightly right of centre. Let's look at the numbers. Carry, spot on to the yard. Launch angle, 24.6, 1.4 difference, close. Launch direction, 0.9 right, 0.9 right, spot on. Backspin, 8,500 GC2, 7,600, not bad, but about almost 1,000 out. Side spin, 900 of draw with the GC2, 290 of fade. And we can go through the club data to see how that is, but yeah, I mean, that's the issue. It's kind of looking at where my shot shows on the R10, off to the right, where it shows on the GC2, drawing to the left. significant difference. Let me try and hit a fade, which I'm not good at, especially with them. Let's give it a go. That's a big cut, surely. There we go. So let's look at the numbers. I suspect these will be closer. That's just my gut feel. Carry, 107, 105. Launch angle, 28.8, 27.5, 1.3. Similar. 0.8 right versus 1 right. Really similar. Backspin, about 1,000 on GC2, 8,900 on R10. So within 1,000. Side spin, 890 of fade on GC2, 545 of fade. So suddenly you are looking at a more similar ball flight. I'll hit another fade. I just had a panic there that I hadn't selected. Right, I'm going to try and hit a straight one. This is a challenge for me. Try and not actually draw it too much. Okay. I failed. But again, you'll just see the differences. So R10 is showing that I did hit quite a big fade actually, 1200 spin right. GC2 is suggesting actually I hit almost the same spin with draw. So you'll see one ended up well left on the bottom show golf and one ended up well right. Looking at the other numbers, however, carry distance 121, 126, not that bad, 5 yards. Yeah, people may say that's a big difference, but if you're hitting enough shots and if it's getting it close enough times, it's a very good tool for back mapping and gapping, club gapping. Where are we at? Ball speed 97 versus 98.6. Not bad. Launch angle 25.1. There you go. 2 degrees difference on launch angle. Backspin 7995. Only 200 difference. Very close. I'll be very happy with that. Side spin. Big draw on GC2. Big fade on R10. Let me hit one more. All right, I managed to hit less spin on that. Less side spin. So we have got carry within 3 yards. We've got launch direction within just over 1 degree. Launch angle. Launch direction, very similar, only 0.2 out. Backspin, really similar. Again, I'm going to say 350 difference, not huge given the numbers. Side spin, 496 of draw on GC2, 17 on the R10. So again, showing that shot shape, almost dead straight, and you'll see the dot a little bit left of centre, but not bad. I'm going to hit another club. Let's go to long irons. Oh, here we go. This is when I'm rusty, and I've come back after a week off on holiday in centre backs. I do not want to be hitting long irons, which ironically is one of the better bits of my game. Okay, 4 irons selected. So let me select it on the Show Golf app so you can at least see the different colours. I don't need to. This has got nothing to do with how it's reading data, calculating. It's just so I don't get beaten up on the comments. That's not bad. It's not bad for a first 4 iron in a week. So already you can see shot shape pushed a little bit right and actually showing a tiny bit of draw on the R10. Not that you could necessarily tell from the look of that. And actually looking on the GC2, same thing, just pushed right. So both finishing in a very similar position. Let's have a look at the numbers. Carry 193 versus 203, so 10 yards difference. Not awful, I'm going to say. Ball speed 131, 129, very similar. Launch angle, probably the difference in carry, but let's see. 14.2 on GC2, 10.5 on R10. So I'm still seeing that pattern which I had before, which is that launch angle is showing lower within my setup, how it is set up now. Hopefully, as I say, Garmin can put out guidance on maybe if you raise it up onto the mat, it will raise it up. I haven't found tilting it's made a difference, but hopefully more and more people will be testing and these things can be tweaked to just get the best it can be. Launch direction 2.8 right, 2 right, so 0.8 difference. Backspin low, that's not too bad, 3,700 versus 2,700, so it's 1,000 out. 2,700, which the R10 is reporting, is low. Side spin 266 of draw, on the GC2 versus 89 on the R10. So similar-ish. Again, I'm not focusing on the club numbers particularly here, but let's do it for this one. This is more about shot shape. I'm more interested in that because that's the bit that I had issues. Angle of attack, 2.6 down on HMT and 4.6 down on the R10. Club path, 4.9 into out on HMT. Just checking I've got that right. Sometimes I just doubt, yeah. And club path, 2.8 right. So yeah, not huge difference, albeit a little bit. Face to path. Where's face to target on there? Face to path there. Face to path 1.4 left. Face to path 2 right. I think that is. Yeah, 2 open. So there's difference there. Anyhow, sorry about the slightly clumsy way of doing that. I'm going to still continue focusing on ball flight and the other numbers, which for me are the most interesting. That should be a little hooky one. Look on the GC2. Does it show? No, you can't do it. But you can see it started left and we had draw. I started 0.3 right, so just ended up drawing left of centre. On the R10, it was right up the middle. Ball speed 127, ball speed 128.9, similar. Launch angle 11.6 versus 13.3. Again, R10 showing a bit lower. Launch direction 0.3 right, 0.3 right, spot on. Backspin 500 difference, not too bad. GC2 showing a fair amount of draw, so you can see how far left of centre it ended up on the bottom grid. And the R10 showing 74 of draw, so hardly anything at all. I'll hit another 4 iron, and then I'll hit some awful 3-woods. Hit a fade. That's got to be a fade. Did it read it? Did R10 read that one? Let's carry. Okay, well there we go. I thought that was a fade, and both have shown that it's wrong, so I don't know what I'm doing. GC2 showing just left of centre. The R10 showing just left of centre, I think. Has it come back over the centre anyway? Can I zoom? No, I don't think so. Yeah, can't quite see a deviation. Oh no, nothing. So that's literally spot on centre. Let's have a look at numbers. Carry distance 201, carry 206, 5 yards difference. Launch angle 13.1 versus 12, 1 degree difference, very close. Launch direction 0.6 right, 0.5 right, very close. Backspin 3.420, 3.184, I'd say very close. Side spin 173 of draw, GC2, 70 of draw, R10, very close. Maybe where I'm getting good strikes, which these feel good. That's what's happening. Let me try. I thought that felt like a fade, but maybe I just can't hit one. Surely that's a cut. Massive cut slice on the GC2 and on the R10. Massive cut slice, whatever. Carry 2 yards difference. Ball speed 1 and a bit difference. Launch angle 2 degrees difference, as we thought, lower on the R10. Backspin 4,500, 4,000, not bad. Side spin 1,000, almost 1,100 right, 1,200 right. So generally, I would say for those shots with the 4 iron, given I've got limited memory of the shot I just hit, let alone the ones before, the numbers seem very, very good and consistent. Let's try and hit the club that I've been hitting terribly lately, despite used to be good with it. 3-wood. And to make matters worse, I bought myself a new 3-wood because obviously it's the club, it's not me. Where's my new one? What have I bought? I bought an Epic Flash Sub-Zero. I get ludicrously low spin with 3-wood bedding. Alright, long and left. Maybe it's a really good cut actually. 237 first 3-wood this week, that's not bad. Let's have a look at the numbers, and this is where there will be some concerns. So ball flight firstly. You can see on the biggest white dot, did it show? Did it pick it up? Why can't I see that on the... That should be, oh, there it is. It might be because I was hovering over it. It's that green one, long and left. And the R10 showing kind of similar. We'll see difference in carry here when we go through them. I haven't got it dotted up, so we're not going to get the club data, I'm afraid, but we'll still go through the main numbers here. Carry distance, 237 GC2 versus 209 on the R10. Massive difference, and it's because of the launch angle. Launch angle is showing as 8.1 GC2, it's showing as 5.1 on the R10. Launch direction, 0.2 left versus 0.8 left, similar. Backspin, 2800 on GC2, 2300 R10. Very low, but I do get low. And side spin, 548, significant draw on GC2, 92 left, tiny bit of draw on R10. Let me hit another one. Again, that felt nice. I'm actually hitting it really well. 242, carry on GC2, love that. So, carry, 30 yards difference. That concerns me within my setup. Why that's happening. Ball speed, 151149, launch angle 8.6, 5.8, so 3 degrees difference. Launch direction, 0.6 left, 1.1 left, similar. Backspin, about 1,000 difference, R10 showing low. And side spin, 300 draw, 239 draw. Similar ball flight, albeit that launch angle. I wish I could get that launch angle up on the R10 just by a couple of degrees. Let me try and hit a fadey, cutty one of them. Not yet. Cut, slice, whatever you want to call it. Achieve the goal. It's not that one that's showing, it's that one. I've realised that might have happened in earlier bits of the video where I left the cursor on the wrong thing. But anyhow, I'm still going through numbers. So you can see that I sliced that right. If we look at the R10 ball flight, I would say it faded right on the R10. We'll look at the numbers. Carry 211, 216, close, 5 yards difference. Launch angle 8.1 versus 6.3. We're still talking 2 degrees difference there. Ball speed, identical. Launch direction within 0.3. Backspin 4,400 on the GC2, 2,693. So again, very low on the R10. Side spin 684 of slice versus 250 of slice on the R10. One last 3-wood, and then I'll embarrass myself with the driver. Again, that felt really nice. That's a beauty, absolute beauty. It doesn't show it, but GC2 does. Let me get that shot on the dots. There we go. Long and drawing a bit left. Just doing a video. Mate, just doing a video. Sorry. So let's have a look at the numbers here. We have got carry of 237 versus 216 on the R10, 20 yards difference. Ball speed within 1, launch angle 2 and a bit degrees difference, which makes a huge difference on the carry. When it's so low, launch direction 1.4 versus 1.2, backspin actually relatively similar, 400 difference, and side spin 700 of draw with the 3-wood, 45 with the R10. I'll just hit a few drivers. I'll be about 3-4 minutes, okay? Just hit a few with driver. Must select it on the app. Done that. done there. Okay. Oh boy. Not the worst, not the best. Okay, that's gone long and left, and the R10 is showing it as well, not long. Long is the wrong phrase. Long and left, you know, longer than any of the other clubs. Let's go through the numbers. We have got carry 243 versus 232. Not a huge difference. That's okay. I'd be happy enough with that, given the type of shot. We've got ball speed 150, 149. Yeah, I'd be happy. Launch angle 9.8 versus 8. So again, almost 2 degrees. Launch direction 1.7 left, 2.5 left. Backspin very low with the GC2, 1600. 2700 with the R10. Fair bit of difference. And side spin, a fair bit more draw, 400 almost draw versus 78 draw. Let's try and hit another one. I'll hit 4. Similar-ish. There it goes. Again, look through the numbers. Look at the ball flight first. So you can see it's gone left of centre on the GC2. And it's gone a fair bit right of centre on the R10. Big difference in where they end up. Big difference in the side spin. Or spin axis, whatever you want to call it. Go through the numbers. Carry 243, 248. I'd be very happy with those carry numbers. Ball speed. Oh, not happy. I want to hit it longer. I'm changing the shaft. I'm going away from extra stiff because I don't swing it that well now. Ball speed 148, 149. Happy. Launch angle 11.2 versus 13.3. So we've actually got the R10 showing it 2 degrees higher for that one. We've got launch direction 1 left versus 1.7 left. Not that much difference. Backspin, huge difference here. 3000 on the R10, 1800 on the GC2. Side spin, 444 draw versus 452 of fade. So 2 more shots, and I will then just draw this to a conclusion and summarise my thoughts. That's a bad strike. So, without looking, because I hit it so low, I suspect massive difference in carry, and the R10 may show a really, really low carry number. And I haven't got it right, which I'm pleased to say. So, shot shape, just make sure I'm highlighting the right one. There you go, you can see that when it started, it was low. Started left of centre and then faded back towards, just ended up left of centre. This one started left and pretty much landed on the centre line with the R10. So very similar. In terms of the numbers, carry 237, 223, 14 difference. Ball speed, 2 difference. Launch angle, 0.1 difference, really close actually. Launch direction, 2.6 left on GC2 versus 3.7. So 1 degree out, which is on the higher discrepancy between the two. But again, I'd have to look back and see if there's a pattern for the alignment that maybe it was always 0.3 one way or another, but who knows. Backspin, 3200 GC2, 2500, so lower on the R10, which tends to be a pattern, I think, if I look back. Side spin, 209 of fade versus 505 of fade, so the R10 is showing a bit more fade, and I'll just hit my final driver. Oh, that's a big pull hook. There we go. Let's see one of them. Very, very low spin. Coming up almost top spin, almost like a forehand top spin in tennis, I think there. Cross court top spin table tennis. Anyhow, let's look at the numbers. So, ball flight. Hugely left. That one's out of bounds left. Let's have a look on the R10. Yeah, similar, although lower, from what I can see. Carry 173, 180. Yep, it was a shocker. Ball speed 152. I hit one more. I've got a golf ball there, so I can hit one more. Ball speed 152, 149. Launch angle 7.8 versus 2.3 on the R10. So 5 degrees difference there on launch angle. Direction, very similar, 0.3 apart. Backspin, 1,000, less than 1,000 with driver, to say it felt like a top spin left. On the GC2, 2,400. I'll be happy with the 2,400 number, I must admit. I think that would be outdoors. That shot's just dropping out of the sky left. And side spin, 0. So it actually didn't pick up the side spin, or didn't come up with a, well, maybe it said I centered it. As in it had no side spin left, so fair enough. Big hook on GC2, 1100 versus nothing. Okay, come on, proper strike here. There we go. At least I've hit a normal enough shot, albeit very poor strike. That's the last one for me. Oh, yes, I think it got it. Let's go through the numbers again. Yep. Carry distance, there we go, almost 30 yards difference. Ball speed, 1 difference. Launch angle, huge difference, 5 degrees almost, 4.5 degrees difference. Launch direction, both saying left, only 0.5 difference. Backspin, 1500 GC2 versus 2300 R10. Side spin, almost 800 of draw versus 14 right. So that's just me whacking a few shots. I'd say driver was 4, I expect it to be. My conclusion is I like it. I still like the numbers. If I'm working on my irons where I felt things like the carry calculations were pretty good, the other numbers were pretty good, I suspect it will get better and more reliable with updates. I don't see the spin axis thing being fixed. It's a limitation of the system and the fact you've got this radar system in a short indoor environment. And even outdoors, it's still not reading the full flight like Amigo Plus or some of the other systems, more expensive ones. So I still think there's limitations there. And as other people have mentioned, where you're hitting the ball off the off the toe or off the non-centre strikes, it's not going to be able to take account of that to a large extent. So I like it. As I say, would I buy it? No, because GC2 is better. Would I, if I didn't have it or I only had £550, would I consider it? Absolutely. Let me know what your thoughts are. I say these videos haven't been too polished, but it's just raw data getting out there. And hopefully someone, whoever gets the R10, can get out there and do some more testing. And I'll be keeping an eye on this to see how people get on. There's lots of other reviews out there, lots of other people testing. This is just one person trying it within my setup. And you know, if we get updates, if we get further guidance, maybe one day I'll be able to get hold of it again and do some more testing. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for watching the videos. I hope they've been somewhat helpful. All right, cheers. Goodbye.